Gabriel Entry, Bono Regional Director of Education. The students have started the writing of the WASSCE, and yesterday was a major paper, a core paper was written yesterday, social studies, and we went round to see what was going on. And so far, so good. What we observe is okay, except that we have a few issues that we shall have to deal with in the course of time. A teacher was caught at Brekum Senior High School and going to pursue that to understand what his intentions were.
Is the person a vigilator or a teacher?
He's a teacher.
But
who had a phone, around the examination center, and we suspected he was up to something, so we shall investigate that. Once we start the exams, you're not supposed, particularly vigilators, you're not supposed to go near the examination center.
Was the said teacher a vigilator?
He was not.
So, how many people are taking part in these exams?
Bono region, we have 28,712 candidates writing the exam in both public and senior high schools. So for the male, we have 13,074. And the females, they are 15,636. So this is the total number of candidates writing in the Bono region for the WASSCE. If we come to the public schools, we have 17,071 candidates writing the WASSCE in public schools. And the male population is 6,211. And the female population is 8,860. So making the total of 17,071 candidates writing the WASSCE in public schools. In the private schools, we have a total of 11,641. And they have male population of 4,863 and female candidates 6,778. So all the senior high schools, the public senior high schools, are examination centers. So we have 36 public senior high schools that are examination centers. In addition, we have about 10 other private schools which are also centers for the conduct of the WASSCE examination. The total number of public schools in the region is 37. And out of this 37, 36 are centers because one school is not up to Form 3. Yes, so they don't have a center now. And the public schools, we have about 31 private schools. For the private schools, we have about 31 private schools. And not all the private schools are examination centers.
So in the private, how many are having the centers?
Yeah, that is how it looks like. But the assumption is that all schools have teachers posted to the schools. Of course, there are some schools that are actually disadvantaged when we come to both basic and senior high schools. But we believe that these teachers that are posted to the schools are equally qualified and are going to help with the students in their learning, teaching and learning activities. And sometimes too, we consider infrastructure challenges in some of these less endowed schools. So yes, it is true that there are some inequalities or some level of equity is not being played here. But we believe that teachers there are doing their best and students are learning whatever that the teachers are also taking them through. Last time the minister made a pronouncement that yes, a student in Akachi was the best science student, and Akachi has no science laboratory. What it therefore means is that yes, sometimes it is difficult for students and teachers in such environment to try. But if we put in all our efforts and try to do the right things, yes, the inequalities might be there, but we can have equally good students coming out from there. Examination malpractice these days has become an existential threat. And it is a multifaceted, collaboration. So it is Ghana Education Service, yes, we have our teachers who are invigilators. Some of them compromise. We have the students themselves who also, because of the fear of examination, try to find a way of, all means possible to succeed. We have parents who are also contributing to this examination malpractice. And we also have WAEC, the examiner. We cannot leave them out because sometimes people have foreknowledge. Where do they have it? Yes, a day before the paper, we hear that. And sometimes what we hear that, yes, these students or this school had a paper, and the paper that they had might not be different from what the students write. So all of us are contributing to it. And so all of us must find a way of, doing away with it. So when we come to Ghana Education Service, we try our possible best to ensure that we do away with examination malpractice. In Bono region, for instance, before the start of this WASSCE, we have had stakeholder engagement involving parents, involving teachers, involving students. The WAEC branch controller was there, so WAEC was invited, and other stakeholders to, as it were, let us know the negative impact of examination malpractice in the region. So we did not end there. We also constituted a committee, school-level malpractice committee, to ensure that the WASSCE is conducted under examination malpractice-free environment. So the committee was to put in place measures before, during, and after the examination so that we'll have examination malpractice-free. We did not also end there. Religious leaders, we believe they also have a deep voice to their congregation to tell them the negative impacts of examination malpractice. That did not end there. This year, we have accredited the religious leaders to also help us in the monitoring of the examination. So we had a notion that, yes, if I'm a Catholic, and if I'm an invigilator, and I see my priest observing me, and I am trying to aid examination malpractice, I think when I see my priest, I would tone down. If I'm a Muslim and I see my imam, coming around to observe me and, seeing me doing that, I think it would tell me something that, yes, what I'm doing is not good. So we have also engaged all of them so that they also observe what we are doing on the ground and then help us to, curb the examination malpractice incidences in there. I've told my team that I'm looking forward to a day when Bono region will have examination and there will not be any invigilator and the students will write on their own. You see, talking about this technology, it might be expensive. And so, yes, how many are we going to install in our schools? Yes, it can be possible, but it's not very realistic now. And so what we need to do is to now let them understand the consequences of killing ourselves in the next few years, deliberately killing ourselves, because if we are going to produce doctors, nurses who use examination malpractice to get to where they are, we can guarantee our untimely death when we go to the hospitals. We can guarantee our untimely death when our engineers build the bridges for us. We can guarantee our untimely death when the architects and the engineers put up structures for us. So we need to, tackle this from, is it a conscious mind? Yeah, we need to be conscious of what this can lead the country into in the future. WAEC do not cancel paper using one, evidence or approach. So, for example, if during the conduct of the examination, a student is caught colluding, the paper can be cancelled. If in the course of examination, a mobile phone is found on the student, the paper can be cancelled. So these are during the exams. Sometimes evidence of such are collected from students and their papers are cancelled. Now another level where WAEC may cancel the paper is where they suspect collusion. Yes, we have written the paper. We are writing, Kofi is going to school. And the Kofi, all of what wrote it, KFI. When we know it is KOFI, it means that there was something that was given to the students during the course of the examination, and they all copied. You see, this is where sometimes I panic. That students, when they get these things, they don't even try to think of what they are writing. They write anything that is presented to them. And so, yes, when the examiners are marking and they suspect some of these things, they subject the paper to investigation. And then it can lead to cancellation of paper. So, yes, WAEC can cancel the paper. Like somebody took WAEC to court, Awuni, that he was not given fair hearing. And so this time, this is what they are doing. When your paper is cancelled, you are invited to come to write your statement for investigation. So if they investigate and find out that, yes, you did the paper on your own, it could be released. But if the investigation points to the fact that, yes, somebody somewhere brought in those documents for you to write, then they will go along to cancel the paper. So that is how WAEC does it. Like I said, we are not taking away WAEC from this blame. We have miscreants in WAEC who are supporting this examination malpractice. And so, yes, everybody has a role to play. WAEC is doing whatever that it can to ensure that we have credible examination. Like I said, we have miscreants in there. Ghana Education Service is doing whatever that it can to ensure that we have a credible exams. We have miscreant teachers who have made the examination period their cocoa season and becoming very difficult for such teachers to desist from that. The Director General has issued a very strong warning that if a teacher is caught in indulging in examination malpractice, yes, we'll take him through the process and he will be dismissed if it is established that, yes, this is so. So we need to have these sanctions. If we sanction 1, 2, 3, and our teachers get to know that, yes, what they are doing is not right, and if you are caught and it is established, you are going to be dismissed, I think teachers will sit up and this examination malpractice will go down. If parents get to know that, yes, what we are doing, getting teachers paid so that they help our learners, would not help them, think it will stop. Sometimes the parents do not know that they are paying the money to buy the failure of their wards, to buy the cancellation of the papers of their wards. There was an instance when, during the conduct of WASSCE, students in a certain school had written their paper, and it was about the time they were finishing. Because the students had a contract with a teacher, that teacher dumped some documents in a washroom. And the student went to pick those documents, cancelled their correct answers, and wrote the wrong answer that the teacher dumped at the washroom. And so, yes, if this happens, it means we are not helping the system. We are encouraging indiscipline in our schools. Because if students know that, yes, at the end of the day, I down, what is the motivation for me to learn? So there is no motivation for the student to learn if the student knows that I down. It is also quite sad to know that some students may have very good grades, but they do not want to, further their education. Somebody had A in mathematics at the senior high school and failed mathematics woefully, not that, yes, woefully at the next level of education. So it's something that we all need to take interest in to ensure that, yes, we take away this canker from our system. It's also about the way we see education. It's always paper. Get the grades so that you can become this. Get the grades so that you can become this. When we had the engagement, a student made a statement that not until he was taken through a guidance and counseling program, he didn't know that, yes, there were so many programs that he could do in science, but they were limited to only what? Doctor, nurses, and so everybody wants to go there. So whatever means possible that they would get the paper to do that program. But if students are exposed to a whole lot of careers that they can do, I think the pressure on them would come down and it will reduce examination malpractice. Sometimes we say it's the ranking. Yes, it's a fact. Teachers would want to, or heads would want their school to come up, so they will find all means possible to ensure that they get their student passing the exams. So it's a whole body of different actors come into play that is actually, causing this examination malpractice. But it needs education. We need to ensure that students understand what they are doing so that they would write their exams without this fear and panic and without resorting to examination malpractice. Our tertiary institutions also create a problem, because if you don't get a certain grade, you are not going to be admitted to some programs. If there is expansion, and if we allow students to write at their own abilities, so that it is not. Yes, we know that they have their policies. The universities have their policies.
So if I understand, it doesn't mean that some courses at the university are being limited due to student ability to get certain grades.
Grades, exactly. So that is a core problem to this examination malpractice. Like I said, we are limited to certain career, and so everybody wants to go there. So if we let students understand that they have a wide range of careers,
so there should be orientation.
Orientation, yes, there should be orientation for students so that they understand this. To those who are writing, I would say I wish them all the best. And what I want to tell them is they have prepared themselves adequately to write the exams. It is not getting the apple that will help them to pass the exams. And I want to thank all teachers for the work that they've done, and those who have the intention of indulging in examination malpractice. This is a warning to them that if they are caught, they risk losing their job. I wish the candidates the best, and God bless them so that they get what they deserve through their hard work.